So this is another Driving Points production. Skirt, skirt. And I may be long overdue for this. I think I seriously am. And I apologize. Sometimes I forget what I'm doing sometimes on my own platforms. I had to take some time out also myself personally to get, my positive balance back in order. Challenge some personal demons. So as we here and we're talking about demons, my heart and prayers, condolences goes out to the family of Douglas High School. All the lost ones, all the people affected, everybody. Big Al, Stephanie, Mike, everybody, that I know personally, that I know indirectly. It was crazy because I heard it coming out the studio, and when the director of the studio was telling me what's going on, I didn't recognize it at first because he used the full name. He said Stoneman, something, because he don't recognize the school. And I'm not gonna lie, I slightly brushed it off because I was like, okay, I'll do some more research as soon as I get home. I'm leaving the studio, let me get home real quick, and then I'll see what's going on. By the time I get home, everything is mad. And I realized what he's talking about is Douglas High School. And I'm like, damn, babe. Like, that was really right down the corner. Like, not even that, like, it's right down the street also from, the funding vehicle. But let me just get to the point more than anything else. Because I've been to high school in a couple of places, right? I've been to middle school in a couple of places. Like right now, I live in lovely South Florida. That's that sun that you keep seeing trying to shine in the back. Right? So obviously, I'm right here where everything happened at. Went to school down here, high school down here, but also I went to high school in New York. And that's the most important one here so far. Is that, listen, I've been to school, elementary, middle school, high school, in New York, and actually in Florida. I mean, not for as long, but for at least a little stint. Even did a stint in high school in Carolina. But no, go check it out. IS 78, Roy H. Mann, South Shore High School. And one of the things that I do remember, and I remember this more about South Shore High School than I remember this about IS 78. So I may be mistaken if I say this about them, but I definitely know it's a fact about, and it's a fact when it comes to South Shore High School at the time. But I've always wondered, why doesn't everybody have metal detectors in their school? And listen, like the first time I saw it, like I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like, yo, this is nice. Like the first time it happened, like I came down south, and this hospitable nature that they have down here. And I'm not sure like who voted on it and who was like, nah, listen, it's gonna be too much of an effect on the kids, or we don't want to put people through that. But listen, I remember going through metal detectors in school, and all that meant really for us is that we were being shot at more after school than was being shot at during school. Shout out to BMW for that one. You'll have to research the 80s and look at what BMW was back then. They made you real good at dodgeball back then. So, first time I came down, we were over here thinking, okay, yeah, this is nice. This is real, real nice. But the very first time I heard about that school shooting, the very, very first time, I remember it was that Combine shooting. It was like 2001. I believe I was in Carolina at the time. Probably transitioned into Germany. Can't remember exactly where I was at. I can't remember exactly what day it was, to be honest with you. Or what time of the year it was. But I remember my first thought still being, like, why aren't there metal detectors in these schools? And every single time I've heard about it ever since then, it has made me wonder, why aren't there metal detectors, and at least from middle school on up? Listen, it's gonna be tough for you to sell that to me in elementary school. You know what I mean? It's gonna take a foreigner to have to go in there for that. But still, like, it was natural, it was normal. It was no different than going through an airport. Like, you just knew that, listen, if we had to be at school, and listen, most people in South Florida are bused to school. So it's not like how we had it in New York, where if you knew that you had to get through the metal detector, so if your classes are starting at 8 or whatever it was, because we had 8 blocks at the time. This is ancient time period I'm talking about here. Right? Because that surely didn't last after as soon as I came down the floor, and they were like, nope, 4 blocks. But back to the point. All that meant was that, listen, we knew that we had to be at school just a little bit earlier, probably like about 20 minutes early, to make sure that you go to the metal detector so you can get into school, or so you can get to your class, get to your locker, do whatever you needed to do. Most people down in South Florida are going to be bussed anyway. And listen, watch out for those buses as well, because once you start to put metal detectors in the school and you stop that, then all that means is that somebody's going to shoot up a bus. Like, that's the next progressive step. Like, let's just be honest, let's just be real. But that's all I came to say. Listen, still, rest in peace to everybody that was lost. You know, hearts and condolences go out to everybody, but I don't know if it's as simple as that. I don't know. Listen, I'm not here about gun control. I'm not here about anything else. I'm just here about one simple thing, about let's try to find the best way to protect the kids. Because listen, people say, like, I'm having a discussion with a friend of mine, and he's over here talking about, oh, we need gun control, that, yo, kids can do this, they can do that, they can do this, but they can't buy alcohol, they can't go, you know, they can't buy cigarettes, they can't do this, whatever. But you understand that most of the people that are doing the shooting are kids anyway, which means that a lot of times they're getting these weapons illegally. So it wouldn't matter if guns, you know, if we had better gun control or not, because the way that they're procuring their guns, half the times, this case I don't believe it was, but half the times they're buying them from illegal means, which means that regardless of how many restrictions or whatever you put on it, it means that whoever has to get them still has to get them illegally to come and commit the act. Let's catch them before they can get inside them hallways. Let's start putting some metal detectors in school. So this is Never Driving Point Productions. This is Talent Mandela. I'm out of here. Yeah, I don't know if you thought that this was going to be just for my little sports forums. Now, we're here to talk about everything. Leave me some comments in the back. Listen, we can add on. We can keep talking about this. We can keep going till the wheels fall off. I'll let your boy. 1.